Welcome, dear listener, and thank you for choosing to spend this quiet time with us. Tonight, we invite you into the gentle depths of Echoes Tasting of Sun-Warmed Stone, a soothing story crafted to guide you towards deep relaxation and peaceful sleep. If you find comfort and rest within this narrative, we would be grateful if you would like this video and subscribe to our channel for more serene journeys like this one. Before we begin our descent into the Resonant Caverns, we will start with a short, calming breathing guidance to help settle your mind and body. Should you wish to drift directly into the story, please find the chapter timestamps conveniently located in the description below. Please find a position that feels utterly comfortable and supportive for you now. Allow your body to grow heavy, sinking softly into the surface beneath you. Perhaps adjust your pillow or draw your covering a little closer, creating a warm, secure haven just for yourself. Let the gentle weight of relaxation begin to settle upon you. This time is purely for you, a quiet space to release the cares of the day and welcome the profound stillness offered within the Resonant Caverns, where sound itself carries the taste of peace. Let us take a slow, easeful breath together now. Inhale gently through your nose, feeling the cool air entering, filling you softly. And as you exhale, release the breath slowly through your mouth, like a quiet sigh, letting go. Feel the gentle weight of your shoulders softening, releasing any tension they might be holding. With each breath, imagine you are breathing in the calm, quiet air of the deep caverns and breathing out any lingering thoughts or worries. Picture the smooth, pale stone walls warmed by filtered sunlight. Hear the soft, distant drip of water and sense the profound peace held within these ancient spaces. If your thoughts wander, as they sometimes do, simply notice them without judgment, like clouds drifting slowly across a vast, quiet sky. Gently guide your attention back to the sensation of your breath or the sound of my voice. There is nothing else required of you now but to rest, to listen, and to allow the story to unfold at its own peaceful pace. Feel the gentle rhythm of the caverns settling into your own being, a deep, grounding stillness. Feel the warmth, like sun-warmed stone, spreading through your limbs, easing you further into relaxation. Allow yourself to become attuned to the subtle resonance of the quiet place. As we journey with Kaelen into the heart of the caverns, let the unique sensory echoes envelop you, carrying you gently towards a state of deep contentment and restful sleep. Let the taste of stillness linger, guiding you into tranquility. And now, let us begin our journey into the depths of Echoes Tasting of Sun-Warmed Stone. Chapter 1. The Sunken Entrance. The air outside held the lingering warmth of a day drawn to a close, smelling faintly of dry grasses and distant pines. Kaelen stood at the cusp of the entrance, a wide natural archway in the pale limestone hillside. It wasn't a sharp descent, but rather a gentle slope leading downwards, as if the earth itself had sighed and settled, inviting entry. The light here was soft, diffused by the angle of the setting sun, casting long, gentle shadows that stretched inward, losing their definition in the growing dimness ahead. Kaelen took a slow, deliberate breath, feeling the stillness gather around them, a stark contrast to the faint breeze that still rustled the leaves beyond the entrance. It felt like stepping across an unseen threshold into a place of profound quiet. With the first step downwards, the air changed perceptibly. It grew cooler, carrying the unmistakable scent of damp earth and ancient stone, a clean, mineral fragrance, like the smell of rain on bedrock. The slope was smooth underfoot, worn down by time and perhaps the passage of water long ago. Kaelen trailed fingertips along the wall beside them, the limestone cool and incredibly smooth, almost polished in places. It felt solid, grounding, a silent testament to ages past. Each footstep made only the softest whisper against the stone floor, a sound quickly absorbed by the immense stillness that seemed to press in gently from all sides. Further down, the ambient light from the entrance began to fade, replaced by a deeper, more encompassing shade. Yet it was not true darkness. A faint ambient luminescence seemed to seep from the very air, or perhaps reflected from unseen sources deeper within. Kaelen paused, allowing their eyes to adjust, noticing the subtle contours of the passage ahead. The silence deepened, becoming not an absence of sound, but a presence in itself, a vast, quiet space holding its breath. It was here, in this profound hush, that Kaelen first noticed it, a faint resonance clinging to the quiet, almost like the memory of a sound, carrying a subtle warmth, a barely there taste on the back of the tongue, like minerals warmed by a distant sun. The path continued its gentle decline, curving slightly. The walls remained smooth, cool beneath Kaelen's exploring hand. Water had clearly shaped this place, its patient artistry evident in the flowing lines of the rock. Occasionally, a single drop of moisture would detach itself from the high ceiling, falling with a soft plink onto the stone floor far ahead. The sound was clear, distinct, yet strangely soft, and its echo lingered not just as sound, but as a fleeting sensation, cool and clean, like tasting the water itself, followed by that persistent hint of warm stone. Kaelen found themselves listening intently, not just with ears, but with their whole being, fascinated by this gentle phenomenon. A sense of calm began to settle deep within Kaelen's chest, a feeling as smooth and cool as the cavern walls. The worries and subtle tensions of the outside world seemed to have remained beyond the entrance, unable to follow into the sanctuary of stillness. Here, there was only the gentle slope downwards, the cool air, the scent of earth and stone, and the intriguing whispers of sensory echoes. Kaelen felt their shoulders relax, letting go of a tension they hadn't fully realized they were carrying. The simple act of walking slowly, breathing the cool air, and feeling the ancient rock felt restorative, centering. The passage widened slightly, opening into a slightly larger space. The air felt a little warmer here, though still cool. Kaelen could sense rather than see the increased volume of the space around them. They stopped again, closing their eyes for a moment, focusing solely on the sensations. The mineral taste on the air was a little stronger here, mingled with the damp earth smell. The quiet felt vast, receptive. Kaelen took another slow breath, feeling it fill their lungs easily, and as they exhaled, the soft sound seemed to travel outwards, returning moments later not just as a faint auditory echo, but as a fleeting feeling of warmth, mirroring the gentle warmth within their own body. There was no hurry. The caverns invited a slow, unhurried pace. Each step was taken mindfully, feeling the solid floor beneath, the cool air on the skin. Kaelen felt a growing sense of peace, a quiet curiosity about what lay further within this remarkable place. It was not the curiosity of seeking adventure or discovery in the usual sense, but rather a desire to simply be within this environment, to listen more deeply to its subtle language, to feel its profound and ancient calm seep into their very bones. The journey inward was also a journey inward toward stillness. Looking ahead, Kaelen thought they could perceive a faint, gentle glow emanating from around a bend far down the passage. It was not the dwindling daylight, but something else entirely, a soft, cool light, steady and welcoming. It promised a continuation of the peace found so far, a deeper immersion into the heart of the Resonant Caverns. With a final appreciative touch to the smooth stone wall, feeling its enduring coolness, Kaelen continued their slow descent towards the source of the gentle light, feeling increasingly grounded and at ease with every quiet step. Chapter 2. Meeting the Listener. Rounding the gentle curve in the passage, Kaelen entered a wider chamber, the source of the soft glow becoming clear. It emanated from patches of beautiful low-growing moss clinging to the walls and floor in scattered clusters. The moss glowed with a gentle phosphorescent light, a cool blue-green luminescence that painted the chamber in soft, serene hues. The light wasn't bright, but it was enough to illuminate the space clearly, revealing walls that swept upwards into unseen heights and a floor scattered with smooth, rounded stones. In the center of the chamber, near a spot where water slowly seeped from a fissure and collected in a shallow, clear pool, sat a figure tending the glowing moss. The figure looked up as Kaelen approached, their movements slow and unhurried. It was Lyra, the gentle guardian Kaelen had heard whispers of. Lyra's face, illuminated by the soft moss light, held a deep calmness, lines of kindness etched around gentle eyes that held a welcoming warmth. A soft smile touched Lyra's lips. There was no surprise in the expression, only quiet acceptance. Lyra made a small, welcoming gesture with one hand, a simple invitation to draw nearer. The air here was thick with the clean, almost ozonic scent of the glowing moss, mingling with the familiar coolness of stone and damp earth. Kaelen approached slowly, feeling no need to speak immediately. The quiet felt comfortable, companionable. Lyra gestured towards a smooth, flat stone near the moss garden, large enough to sit on comfortably. As Kaelen settled onto the stone, feeling its cool, solid support beneath them, Lyra carefully poured a warm liquid from a simple earthenware jug into 2 small, handleless cups. The steam rising from the cups carried a delicate herbal fragrance, subtly different from the moss, yet harmonious with it. Lyra offered 1 cup to Kaelen, their movements fluid and economical, conveying peace. Kaelen accepted the cup, the warmth seeping pleasantly into their hands. They sipped the tea. It was brewed from herbs Kaelen didn't recognize, tasting faintly sweet, earthy, and incredibly soothing. As the warm steam curled upwards, it seemed to catch the light from the moss, and Kaelen could almost perceive the faintest echo carried upon it, a trace of the moss's cool light, a hint of the herb's gentle vitality. They sat in silence for a comfortable while, sipping the warm tea, the only sounds the soft dripping of water into the nearby pool and their own quiet breathing. The dripping water was a focal point in the chamber's stillness. Each drop landed with a soft, clear plink in the shallow pool. Kaelen listened intently, remembering the echoes from the entrance passage. Here, surrounded by the glowing moss and sitting near Lyra's calm presence, the echo seemed richer, more defined. It wasn't just the sound returning, but a distinct sensation that followed, the coolness of the water, the smoothness of the pool's stone basin, and a subtle lingering taste like clean minerals and that ever-present hint of sun-warmed rock, even here in the cool light of the moss. It was deeply grounding. Lyra seemed to sense Kaelen's focus. Without breaking the restful silence entirely, Lyra spoke, their voice soft, melodic, barely louder than the dripping water. "The caverns listen," Lyra murmured, "and they remember sensations. The echoes carry more than sound here. They carry the feel of things, the warmth, the coolness, even the stillness." Lyra gestured gently toward the pool. "Listen to the water's memory." Lyra's words weren't an instruction, but a gentle invitation to deeper perception. Kaelen focused again on the dripping water, consciously opening themselves not just to hearing, but to feeling, tasting the resonance that followed each drop. The sensation was subtle, yet undeniable. It was like tasting the essence of the stone, feeling the coolness of the water on the tongue, sensing the quiet history held within the cavern walls. It required a letting go, a quiet receptivity. Kaelen felt their body relax further onto the stone seat, the warmth of the tea spreading through their chest, mingling with the cool air and the strange, beautiful synesthesia of the echoes. They spent a long time there, near the glowing moss garden and the dripping seep. Sometimes Lyra would gently tend to a patch of moss, coaxing its soft light. Sometimes they would simply sit, sharing the comfortable silence, sipping the soothing tea. Kaelen felt no pressure to talk, no need to explain their presence. It was understood, accepted. The simple act of being present, of listening deeply to the gentle sounds and their resonant aftermath was enough. It was a profound form of communication, a sharing of peace. As the tea warmed Kaelen from the inside, they noticed the gentle coolness of the stone seat beneath them, the way their body felt heavy and supported. A feeling of deep ease settled over them, a release of tension layer by layer. The glowing moss pulsed with a slow, barely perceptible rhythm, casting shifting patterns of soft light on the walls. Observing this gentle light, feeling the calm presence of Lyra nearby, and tasting the stony echoes of the dripping water, created a cocoon of tranquility. Kaelen felt anchored, present, and profoundly at peace, simply listening in the heart of the softly glowing chamber. Chapter 3. Learning to Taste Sound. In the gentle rhythm of the caverns, time seemed to flow differently, measured not by clocks, but by the slow drip of water and the subtle shifts in inner awareness. Lyra, sensing Kaelen's quiet readiness, eventually rose slowly from their seat near the moss garden. With a soft gesture, Lyra invited Kaelen to follow, leading them away from the chamber of glowing moss, deeper into another passage. This passage felt drier, the air holding less moisture, and the ever-present scent of cool stone was now mingled with a faint dustiness, like sunshine trapped in ancient places. The passage opened into a much larger cavern, cathedral-like in its proportions. High above, a wide fissure snaked across the ceiling, and through it streamed distinct beams of sunlight, illuminating the vast space in shafts of golden light. Dust motes danced lazily in these beams, tiny specks drifting in the absolute stillness. The light fell upon a large, flat expanse of pale rock near the center of the chamber, warming its surface. The air here felt noticeably warmer, carrying the dry scent of sun-baked stone. It was a place of warmth and light, held deep within the earth. Lyra led Kaelen towards the sun-warmed expanse of rock, their soft footfalls barely disturbing the quiet. They stopped near the edge of the light, where the warmth was most noticeable. "Some places hold the sun's memory more strongly," Lyra said, their voice a gentle murmur that seemed to become part of the chamber's resonance. "Here, the echoes taste of warmth, of light itself held within the stone. Listen." Lyra didn't make a sound, simply indicating the space, the light, the silence pregnant with potential echoes. Kaelen stood quietly, feeling the gentle warmth radiating from the sunlit rock nearby, a comforting sensation spreading through the cool cavern air. They focused their attention, breathing slowly and evenly. After a moment, Lyra hummed a single low, soft note. The sound traveled out, touching the vast walls, the ceiling, the sun-warmed floor, and then returned. The echo was clear. Accompanying it was a distinct sensory impression, a wave of warmth, like feeling the sun on closed eyelids, and a definite taste, rich and grounding, like licking a smooth, sun-heated pebble. It was stronger here, more defined than the echoes near the dripping water. "You try," Lyra suggested softly, gesturing toward the center of the sunlit patch. Kaelen stepped fully into the beam of light, feeling the direct warmth on their skin, a pleasant contrast to the surrounding coolness. It felt comforting, safe. Closing their eyes for a moment, Kaelen focused on the feeling of the warmth, the scent of the dry stone. Then, taking a gentle breath, Kaelen hummed a soft note similar to Lyra's, letting it resonate from their chest. The sound felt small in the vast chamber, yet it traveled outwards, painting the space with vibration. And then it returned. The echo came back, carrying Kaelen's own note, but transformed. It was imbued with the warmth of the stone, the brightness of the light. Kaelen could taste the sun-baked minerals on their tongue, feel a gentle pulse of warmth wash over them, separate from the direct sunlight. A soft smile touched Kaelen's lips. It was a delightful, wondrous experience, like discovering a hidden sense. It required stillness, patience, and a willingness to perceive beyond the ordinary. They spent a long while in the sunlit chamber experimenting gently. Kaelen tried humming different notes, soft whistles, even just the sound of their own quiet exhalations. Each sound sent out returned with its unique sensory signature, colored by the warmth and light bathing the stone. Lyra watched with quiet encouragement, occasionally humming a note themselves, adding to the gentle symphony of resonant warmth. There was no goal beyond the simple exploration of this peaceful phenomenon, the quiet joy of learning to taste sound. Kaelen found a comfortable spot to sit directly on the large, flat stone, feeling its pleasant warmth seep into their body through the thin fabric of their clothes. The warmth felt deeply relaxing, easing muscles, calming the mind. They rested their hands flat on the stone, absorbing its heat, feeling the fine texture of the rock, smoothed by millennia. Looking up, they watched the dust motes dancing in the shafts of light, a slow, silent ballet in the still air. The silence wasn't empty. It was full of the potential for warm, resonant echoes. Lyra sat nearby, eyes closed, seemingly absorbed in the chamber's peaceful atmosphere. The shared quiet was deep and comfortable. Kaelen focused on their breathing, feeling the gentle rise and fall of their chest, noticing how even this small movement created the faintest whisper of sound, which returned with a subtle warmth, a taste of their own inner calm, reflected back by the ancient sun-warmed stone. It felt like the cavern was acknowledging their presence, echoing back their own peaceful state. This deep listening, this tasting of sound, was a form of meditation, grounding Kaelen completely in the present moment, dissolving any lingering traces of unease. The warmth of the stone, the gentle light, the resonant echoes all combined to create a profound sense of well-being and quiet wonder. Chapter 4. The Pool of Shared Resonance. After the warmth of the sunlit chamber, Lyra guided Kaelen along another passage, this one descending slightly once more. The air grew cooler again, carrying the familiar scent of damp earth, but now with an added clarity, like the air near pure water. The sounds of their soft footfalls seemed to echo differently here, the resonance carrying a liquid quality, a hint of coolness and depth. The passage opened into a smaller, more intimate grotto, dimly lit by the faint, natural luminescence of the cavern itself, perhaps reflecting distant moss light. At its center lay a pool of water, perfectly still and remarkably clear. The pool was not large, perhaps spanning the width of a small room, its edges formed by a smooth, dark stone that sloped gently into the water. The surface was like polished obsidian, reflecting the unseen ceiling above. There was no discernible current, no drips disturbing its surface, just profound stillness. The air hung cool and heavy around it, amplifying the sense of quiet depth. Lyra knelt gracefully at the pool's edge, gesturing for Kaelen to join them. Kaelen settled carefully onto the cool stone beside Lyra, gazing into the water's dark, reflective surface. "This water holds echoes differently," Lyra whispered, their voice barely disturbing the stillness. "It remembers not just the feel of stone, but the resonance between things, even between quiet hearts." Lyra picked up a small, perfectly smooth pebble from a collection nestled in a hollow of the rock. The pebble felt cool and dense in Lyra's hand. With a slow, deliberate movement, Lyra extended their hand over the center of the pool and gently released the pebble. It entered the water with the softest plink, barely louder than the drips in the previous chamber, yet the effect was mesmerizing. Perfect concentric ripples spread outwards from the point of entry, disturbing the mirror-like surface. As the ripples reached the stone edges, an echo arose, but it was far more complex than those Kaelen had heard before. It carried the clear coolness of the water, the smooth solidity of the stone pebble, the dark minerality of the pool's basin, and something else. A faint, shared feeling of the peace that existed between Lyra and Kaelen in that moment. It tasted like cool water, ancient stone, and quiet companionship. Kaelen drew in a soft breath, amazed. It felt intimate, yet completely natural. Lyra offered Kaelen another smooth pebble. Kaelen took it, feeling its coolness, its weight. Holding it over the water, Kaelen focused on the feeling of calm that had settled within them, the quiet gratitude for this shared experience. Then, gently, Kaelen released the pebble. It slipped into the water, creating its own set of expanding ripples. The echo returned, carrying the sensory imprint of water and stone, but mingled subtly with Kaelen's own feeling of peacefulness. A taste of quiet wonder reflected back. They sat there for a long time by the edge of the resonant pool. Occasionally, one of them would gently release another pebble into the water, listening, not just with their ears, but with their whole being, to the complex echoes that arose. They didn't need to speak. The shared act of listening, of sensing the blended resonance of water, stone, and quiet emotion, was communication enough. The coolness of the stone beneath Kaelen felt grounding, connecting them to the earth's deep stillness. Kaelen focused on the simple act of breathing, feeling the cool, damp air fill their lungs and release slowly. Each breath felt calming, centering. They watched the pool's surface gradually return to perfect stillness after each pebble, the reflections becoming sharp and clear once more. The quiet in the grotto was profound, broken only by the gentle sounds they intentionally created and the intricate echoes that followed. It was a place for contemplation, for feeling the subtle connections that exist beneath the surface of things. The experience felt deeply restorative. It wasn't about achieving anything, but simply about being present, sharing a moment of quiet interaction with the unique environment and with Lyra. The coolness of the grotto, the clarity of the water, the smooth texture of the pebbles, the complex layered echoes all contributed to a state of deep relaxation. Kaelen felt the muscles in their neck and shoulders soften further, the gentle weight of their body resting comfortably on the stone. Thoughts drifted by slowly, observed without attachment, like leaves floating on the still surface of the pool. Lyra eventually placed a gentle hand on Kaelen's arm, a silent signal. Kaelen met Lyra's gaze, seeing the shared understanding, the quiet contentment reflected there. They had lingered long enough by the pool of shared resonance, rising slowly, feeling the coolness of the stone linger for a moment. Kaelen felt a sense of quiet gratitude for the experience, for the deepening understanding of the cavern's gentle magic. The peace felt palpable, a tangible presence they carried with them as they turned to leave the grotto, the memory of cool water and shared stillness echoing softly within. Chapter 5. Finding Stillness Within. Lyra guided Kaelen back towards the chamber, illuminated by the glowing moss, its soft, cool light of familiar comfort. Instead of stopping by the main garden, Lyra led Kaelen towards a smaller, more secluded alcove off to one side. This space was quieter still, sheltered from the main chamber, bathed in the gentle blue-green luminescence of a few carefully cultivated patches of the phosphorescent moss growing in crevices in the rock. The air here felt perfectly still, holding the clean scent of the moss and the underlying coolness of the stone. A smooth, slightly concave section of the floor looked invitingly comfortable. "Sometimes," Lyra said softly, their voice blending with the cavern's deep quiet, "the most profound echoes are the ones we find within ourselves, reflected back by the stillness." Lyra gave a gentle nod towards the smooth section of floor, indicating Kaelen might rest there if they wished, then retreated quietly towards the main chamber, leaving Kaelen to the peaceful solitude of the alcove. The gesture was one of trust, allowing Kaelen space for personal reflection and integration of their experiences. Kaelen settled onto the floor of the alcove, finding the stone cool, but not cold, shaped in a way that felt naturally supportive. Leaning back against the smooth wall, Kaelen drew their knees up slightly, resting their arms loosely upon them. The soft glow of the moss provided just enough light, creating a gentle, womb-like atmosphere. Closing their eyes, Kaelen focused first on the physical sensations, the solid support of the floor and wall, the gentle coolness of the air on their skin, the feeling of their own relaxed weight. Then, Kaelen turned their attention inward, towards the simple, steady rhythm of their own breathing, inhaling slowly, feeling the air move gently into their lungs, exhaling softly, feeling a wave of release, a letting go. In the profound quiet of the alcove, the sound of their own breath was audible, a soft, rhythmic whisper. Kaelen listened to this sound, not just hearing it, but anticipating its echo, opening their awareness to the subtle resonance that returned from the surrounding stone. The echo came back, faint but distinct. It carried the soft sound of the breath, but imbued with the qualities of the alcove, the coolness of the stone, the gentle luminosity of the moss, the deep, unwavering stillness of the earth. And tasting it, Kaelen perceived the subtle flavor of their own inner state reflected back. Calm. It tasted like quietude, like the absence of striving, like peaceful acceptance. Breathing in, breathing out, listening to the echoed taste of inner stillness, it became a gentle, calming cycle. There was nothing to do, nowhere to be, just this present moment in the softly lit alcove. Kaelen allowed their body to sink more deeply into relaxation. They noticed the feeling of warmth in their hands resting on their knees, the comfortable weight of their limbs, the softness in their face and jaw. Each exhale seemed to carry away any residual tension, leaving behind only ease. The glowing moss pulsed faintly, its light seeming to breathe in time with Kaelen's own relaxed rhythm. Thoughts arose, gentle memories of the journey, the sunken entrance, the warm tea with Lyra, the sunlit chamber, the resonant pool, but they floated by without disturbing the deep sense of peace. They were simply part of the tapestry of the experience, threads woven into the profound calm. Kaelen realized that the stillness they had sought wasn't just in the caverns, but within themselves, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be heard and tasted in the quiet echoes. The caverns, with their unique magic, had simply provided the perfect mirror, the perfect amplifier for that inner quiet. A deep sense of belonging settled over Kaelen, not belonging to the caverns necessarily, but belonging to themselves, feeling centered and whole in the quiet solitude. The gentle coolness of the stone felt comforting. The soft light felt protective. The rhythmic echo of their breath felt like a lullaby sung by the ancient earth. Kaelen felt utterly safe, profoundly relaxed, adrift on a sea of tranquility. The boundary between themselves and the peaceful cavern blurred, merging into a single state of serene being. Kaelen remained there for a long, unmeasured time, simply breathing, listening, feeling. The need for sleep began to gently assert itself, not as fatigue, but as a natural continuation of the deep relaxation. The steady rhythm of breathing, the soft moss light, the comforting coolness, the taste of stillness on the echoes all conspired to gently loosen the ties to wakefulness. Kaelen felt heavy, comfortable, and deeply, deeply peaceful, ready to drift into sleep, cradled in the heart of the resonant caverns, carrying the echo of its sun-warmed peace within.